So, do you have any questions regarding last session?
No, I don't have any questions. I'll ask because I'm going to work. So once I finish that, I can ask you. You can continue.
Yeah. So that fifth day session, I was trying to upload. So once done now, so we'll share you that one also. Okay.
Okay.
So today we'll discuss about database concept. So how will you insert the records into database using MuleSoft? We'll discuss about that.
Okay.
Okay. So I will explain the scenarios. So where you use this type of database connector. So we have here in MuleSoft there is a generic database connector actually. Using this you can connect multiple databases like Oracle, MySQL. We have different databases, right? I hope you are aware of that, right? JDBC concept.
Yes.
Okay, now in Java there is a concept called JDBC, right? Java Database Connectivity.
You mean different types of connectivity or different types of databases? Because both are different, right?
Yeah, databases are different. Different databases like Oracle, then MySQL, then like MongoDB. That is also one of the database, and then Derby database. Like this, we have different databases actually, right? So whatever the database, right? So you can use this generic database connector. So that is a connector in MuleSoft. Using this
Mm-hmm.
database connector, this is a database connector actually. Using this, you
Okay.
can able to connect either Oracle or else MySQL, like MongoDB, and then Derby database. So we can connect multiple databases using same generic database connector.
Okay.
Okay, no? Like I mean, some new databases are there, some NoSQL databases. I will tell you what is the difference between NoSQL and SQL databases. NoSQL database like Cassandra and MapRDB. So like this, we have other databases also. So this is SQL databases. I mean, there is a proper structure is there actually. Proper structure means there is a columns, there is a rows, like that is there. But if you see here other databases, there's a what we call NoSQL database. It's not a proper structure actually. There is no proper rows,
Okay.
proper columns like that. So for this connecting also we have a separate database, separate databases actually. Cassandra is the database. So for that we need to add it actually. If you add that plugin, you can able to see here actually. As of now there is not there. So if you add the plugin, that particular Cassandra database connector, you can able to get it. Like similarly, we have one more MapRDB. So for that we will use Hadoop database connector. This is nothing but a Hadoop. This MapRDB is the top of the Hadoop actually. So using Hadoop connector, we can able to connect MapRDB databases. Okay, now so these are SQL databases. These are NoSQL databases. So if you go for SQL
And Cassandra
databases,
also, yeah, Cassandra also Hadoop one, right? Hadoop model.
no, it's a separate one actually. For
Okay.
connecting Hadoop, we can use it. This is a separate database actually, NoSQL database.
Mm-hmm.
This Hadoop, what happened? If you use Hadoop, we can't able to change the records actually. Suppose my requirement is when you will go for Hadoop exactly. If you see when you run this application, will generate the logs, right? Server
Yes.
logs. Suppose that server logs are daily, it will generate 1 GBs of data, right? That is not in the
Okay.
proper format actually, right? There is no column, there is no row. It's not proper format actually. Just will dump that file into Hadoop actually. So that time we'll go for Hadoop actually. In that, if you insert that file into Hadoop, you can't able to edit, you can't able to delete it actually. You are clear. So that's why they introduced MapRDB is the top of the Hadoop, top of the layer of the Hadoop actually. So that if you want to do edit or else delete somewhat, you want to do some operations, so that's time you can play with MapRDB only, not Hadoop. So in the Hadoop file, we can't change the file, but we can access here, same file you can access here. We can able to edit it, we can able to do some operations on that.
So
So
you want to say that this is a separate database. Actually, in Hadoop, there is a inbuilt database, is there, right?
yes,
That is a HDF.
HDF, some modules are
HDF.
there, right? Pig. Yeah, okay.
So
So
this is
these are the tools actually for getting the data.
okay.
Okay, now. So this is also that's why they introduced MapRDB is the one of the database on top of the Hadoop. If you connect directly Hadoop, you can't able to edit the records, edit the data. You can only dump the data into Hadoop. You can't able to do any modification on that. Understood. So that's why they introduce a one layer on top of that. So whatever the data in the Hadoop we can able to get through MapRDB, we can able to edit the data in the MapRDBs. Understood. So
Okay.
that is also NoSQL database. So we can able to connect directly here. MapRDB connector is there. We can able to connect it. If not there, we can able to build the connector actually. So same Hadoop code we have to write. We can able to build it. So using dev kit. I told you right. So while starting, so if there is no connector, we can able to build that using dev kit. If the connector is there, directly we can use it. If the connector is not there, we can able to write the Java code. So we can create the connector, we can add that connector, then that time it should available here in the palette and the list of connectors,
Okay.
right? So in the palette that should be available. You can use that, you can connect MapRDB or else whatever it is. Okay, now, so there's a two types of databases, SQL databases and NoSQL databases. Now we are discussing about this SQL databases. Okay, so further, so there is a generic database connector. So using this database connector, you can connect like Oracle, MySQL, database, whatever the SQL database, you can able to connect it. So for that, we need to configure the data. Okay, now. So first we need to create the backend for this. Once data is there in that, then we can able to do it, right. Here I just create a data in the backend. So I'm using MySQL database. I'm using MySQL database here. So how the database, if you are aware that database, then fine. If not aware, I'm trying to explain it, what we need to do in the backend. So I'm using MySQL. So this is a MySQL. We have to install the MySQL database. Okay, this is a MySQL client. Okay, whenever you install the MySQL, type here MySQL. It will come like this. MySQL
Yes.
command client. Okay.
Okay.
So just Google it, just try to download it and install it. 5.6 is the latest versions. Then type root. Don't give any password while installing. By default password is
Okay.
the root, ROOT. Okay. Then enter. So it will come like this, MySQL. Clear.
Okay.
So then we can see show databases. What are the databases available in this MySQL? So click the show, type that show databases. It will show list of databases. So these are the databases in my machine. Okay, by
Okay.
default, these databases are available, World Test, and then Performance Schema, MySQL. I was creating the company actually. Okay, information
Okay.
schema is also by default is there. Then you can, second command is, first command is show databases. You can see list of databases. Then second one is use that particular database, use company. Then now you are in company database. Okay. Again next one is
Okay.
show tables. So these are the tables in my company database. You are clear.
Okay.
So these are the basic commands for connecting the MySQL, and we can see the tables like that. So remaining commands same actually. Select star from that particular table, right? Like Oracle. Hmm? So now what we need to do, we have to connect a backend, means this MySQL database. We can able to get the records, we can able to edit the records, we can able to delete the records. So we'll do that part. You are clear, right?
Yes.
So that is a seeing the database, how the database, and then what are the tables available, what are the databases available, how to choose the database. So that is the basic commands. So first, if you want to create your own database, these are the steps actually. First one is create database followed by database name, whatever the database you want. Create database followed by database name, that is the first command. You can able to create a new database. So next one is, each and every database some users are there. Clear.
Yes.
So further we need to create a user. So this is my user, create user. This is because we are under local host, right? If it is a remote, then we have to give a remote address. Okay, na?
So here, it seems you have given all the queries in one place, right? So,
Yeah, you can do like that, or else you can give individual also. I kept in a
okay.
file actually. I kept in a file, and I'm executing total file single shot. Or else we can
Okay, no
write
need to,
and tell me.
okay, no need to go by individual queries. So you can write everything and run it in the each
Yeah,
code.
if you, I mean, if you have a confidence, then if you have all queries are correct, then you can hit total queries at a time. Put all by once.
Okay. So for example, in this case, I'm very confident that my queries are good. But at the same time, there is a problem with my query in the middle of that. So how
Then
can I achieve that?
it will give error. It's
I
better
mean,
to,
while connected from you.
no, suppose this command is correct, so this will execute successfully. Suppose in this something is wrong, so then it will give error. Then I have to correct that error, then I have to execute it. So it's better to go
Where is
one,
the
one by
shift?
one. So in that only, suppose while here
Okay.
only, suppose I am giving some wrong command here. In place of database, I just created data. Something company one. See this, it will give error.
No, here you are giving that uh, manually, like individually, you are giving that query, right?
Yeah, that is a way to create the. We are trying to enter in the back end. You are getting, this is not from Mule.
Okay, so everything you did it from SQL database only. I mean, that command prompt.
That's what. So generally, no need to work on the back end. So there is other peoples are there for working back end people, for working back end, right? You are not the back end guy.
Yes, yes.
Somebody else there. So they just give a table name, column name, table name, field names, then database name, credentials, and all. They will share you. If not, then we should also aware some little bit on the back end, right? So that's what I'm saying actually. This is a way to create the uh, what we call database, then create the user, then giving the permissions, that's it, and then create the table, insert the data.
Hmm.
Not clear?
This is fine. I mean, this is queries.
Hmm.
So you said this all we can use it in a single shot. That means but you are doing that individually. You are passing that query in the MySQL command prompt, correct?
Okay.
So you are not doing that in a single shot. Am I correct?
You can do it, man. That's what I'm saying. We can see. That's what every query is correct. We can do single shot. Understood? You can give
Okay.
it single shot, directly paste here. It will work. So what I'm saying, suppose anything is wrong in that, it will get fail.
Okay.
So that's why it's better to go one by one. Create a database
Mm-hmm.
first. Once that is successfully created, suppose I'm creating a new database.
Okay.
Create database, company one I'm creating. Now database got created. Then second step is what? Create a user. Create a user. Okay. So next, user got created.
Yeah, got it. Fine.
So like that, see, something is error is there, then it will give some error actually, operation create user failed. So
Hmm.
what I did actually, so I'm already aware on this area, so that's why I create one SQL file actually, import.sql.
Okay.
So I directly import it actually. You can import it. There is an option called import. You can import total file into MySQL. Then total commands will execute it. So we can't do manual, right? These many records we can't do manually. Understood?
Yes, yes.
One by one record you can't insert. So that's why I just upload a total dump. I will not just dump the
Okay.
file. Understood? Or else MySQL provide some GUI also. This way also you can do it.
Mm-hmm. Can you show me how to import?
See this, I just place here actually. I just place here, there is a GUI is there. I just place here total data. Then I'll execute it actually, single shot. Here is the option. You can execute it.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Got it.
Okay, now?
Something like SQL editor.
Yes, MySQL workbench is there.
Okay.
There is a different ways are there actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first we have to set the total backend. So whatever based on our requirement, so we have to set the backend. I'm talking about only this how to do these samples and POCs. But generally, if you come to real-time environment, no need to touch your backend actually. There is a somebody else there. They will take care it. They will create the table. They will create the users and all. So what we need to do, we have to get the information from them. Okay. So then we need to work on only this mule side, not backend side. You are clear that?
Okay.
Okay now.
Yes, yes.
So that's it. So after that, so I'm trying to connect that database. What are the things we need to do? How we'll configure it? So now backend part is ready. User is ready, then database is ready, then tables are ready. So we need to create a flow to get the information from the table. Okay. So this is the first
Okay.
flow. So database to JSON. First connector is HTTP. You already aware on that. So we have to create that configuration is this localhost and port number and all. Then next one is, so this is a database connector. Just I drag and drop this database connector. So this is a configuration. Just see, first one is we need to set the connector configuration, right? So I'm trying to add this. So first time you have to click plus. You're clear. I already
Yeah,
entered
yeah.
that configuration. That's why I'm trying to show you using this edit symbol. Click this.
Okay.
See here there is a URL is there. The driver class is there. if you see the Java code, right, for connecting database, you have to pass URL, then you have to pass driver name, right? You are aware on that,
Yes.
right? JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. Here also I'm doing same thing actually. I'm passing the URL. In the URL, this is a URL actually. So in the URL, we have to mention your host address where you are. Either you are in a remote or else either you are in a local host. So then your
Okay.
port number, your database port number. So by default 3306 is for MySQL. If you while installing, if you won't change, then by default 3306. If you want to change, you can change while installing time.
Okay.
If you change it accordingly, we have to enter that particular port number. Okay, no? So next one is database name. This is the JDBC MySQL is the protocol. Next one is this is the local host and the port number. This is database name. Company is the database name. Just now we created backend, right? That is the database name. So next one is we have to give user ID password also, right, for connecting that particular database, because each and every database have multiple users are there. So you should have permissions to connect that particular database. So that's why we gave a permissions here. Grant all privileges to that particular user to that database. Okay now.
Okay.
So if you have a grants, you can able to connect it actually. So user equal generate data and password equal generated. You are clear. So this is a URL you
Yes.
have to enter in the database connector. Okay. Or else other way also there actually. Either way you can use it. Configure via Spring pane. If you are aware in the Spring, right, there is a concept called Springs in Java. If you are aware
Yes.
of that, we can add that Spring also. See this, we can enter, we can write some Java class. Spring bean is nothing but some bean class. We can write it. You can
Okay.
upload that class here. Java class I'm talking about. You can show that Java class. You can write it accordingly. Okay, or else either way you can use it. Database URL. Next one is what? We have to show the driver class name. What was the driver you are using? That is based on the database actually. So now we are under MySQL, right? This is a driver name com.mysql.jdbc.driver. So that is the MySQL driver name. You're clear.
Okay.
If you are using some other database like Oracle dot something thin driver, other driver actually, Oracle dot JDBC dot driver, some other class. Like Derpy have some other class, like MongoDB have some other class. Okay, so like that MySQL also have, this is the driver name. You have to show the driver name. So then once you're done, we can test here actually. Connection is
Okay.
established or not, you can check here itself. Means everything is correct or not, you can check here. Okay, so that is the connection. If you see advanced also, you can see something options actually, maximum pool size, minimum pool size. You can set advanced level configuration actually. So at a time, how many connections establish? Suppose we build one web application. So how many connections we are allowed at a time? That type of configuration also you can set it actually. Maximum pool size, minimum pool size, increment like that. So this reconnection actually. So how much time to suppose suddenly connection gone, second time, so how much time it will take to create a new connection, this type actually. So that is advanced, no? So this is generally we have to enter URL and driver class name. That is enough to connect the database. Okay now.
Mhm.
In my database I have only MySQL, that's why I'm showing MySQL only. If you want to try other databases like Oracle, some other, you can install an information. Same way as it is what we did for MySQL database, same thing we have to do other database also. Clear?
Okay.
So coming to then this is finished, right? Connector configuration is finished. Whenever it will done, where it will go, there is nothing but one more thing actually. Whatever the connection configuration it is, so that will go under global element. You are clear? I'm trying to edit this one also. See here, global element, because this connection is common for all, right? Suppose tomorrow I will drag and drop one more database connector. Suppose I will drag and drop one more database connector. That time what happen? No need to enter again configuration, because we already set the configuration. So that will take. That's why it is a global element. Whenever you connect a configured, whenever you connect a drag and drop into the this panel, then automatically the connector configuration will set, because we set in global elements. You are clear?
You mean no need to give again
Yes, no
drag
need
and
to
drop?
enter a configuration actually. That's why once you created several times you can use it. Even HTTP also similarly. Whatever the connector configuration that we need to that will Mule will take by default in global level. Okay. Okay. Now we configured the database. Then in this some other options. So first one is clear. Connector configuration is clear. So next one is here some operations are there. You see the list of operations. What operation you want to perform it? Either you want to get the data from the database, means select the data from the database, or else you want to insert it, or else you want to update it, delete it. Like there is a procedures also there, right? You are aware, right? Procedures. What is meant by
Yes,
procedures and all. If you want to
yes.
run with procedures, then you have to work with procedures, stored procedures. Whenever you want to connect procedure from the Mule to your database, then you have to choose the option stored procedure. Clear.
Okay.
Similarly, you can
Yes.
choose other options also: bulk execute ELL operations. So based on your requirement, actually, accordingly we have to choose particular operation. Okay, now I choose select operation. First we will get the data, after that we will insert, update, we will do other operations. Okay, now, and then here also there is a type of query. It is what type of query you are using. Either your dynamic query, or else parameterized query, or else from template. So what was the difference between these three? So dynamic means we can write all the query like this. Select total query, you can keep it here. Whatever the directly we are writing in the backend, right? Same query you can write here.
Okay.
Suppose I want to fetch the data from the data. I want to show the data here. So select star from some roles. You can see directly, right? So same query you can write directly here. Select first name from employees, whatever the query, where last name equals, we are passing dynamic value, right? So that directly we can mention the query here. So when you choose dynamic operation, dynamic type.
Okay.
Okay, similarly other way is there. We'll see other ways also. So here if you choose parameterized, you can write individual field actually. That one also we'll see. So if you see, say this is similarly like Java actually. How we will use while connecting the JDBC, Java Database Connectivity, through Java program, there are different ways actually. There is a statement, prepared statement, callable statement. Do you aware of that? So there is a
Yes.
different classes actually. If you use a prepared statement, then you have write a parameterized query with question marks and all. Do you remember? So
Yes.
set value, set string, set, like that we have to use. Then in place of query, we can mention question marks actually. When you write
Yes.
a parameterized. So when you write a callable statement, that is nothing but a procedure connection. like that here also, similarly, they segregate like this. So dynamic and parameterized and from template. We'll see one by one. First we'll see dynamic. You are clear. So here different operations are there based on our requirement. We have to choose it. Then here query type. What type of query you want? Either a dynamic or else either a parameterized query or else either a from template. You are clear. So these are the operations here. So that too, this here I told you two types of connectors, right? There's a database connector and then individual like Cassandra and Hadoop connectors are there, no? That for that time operations got changed actually. This is a NoSQL database. These are the operations. Sorry, these are SQL operations. These are the operations. Other one is NoSQL databases like Cassandra, the MapRDB. Might be these operations got changed. Oh, clear.
Yes.
Okay, so that is a database configuration and choosing operation and creating type of query. Okay, once you connected, after getting the data, I'm trying to convert object to JSON. Then finally, I'm trying to display the data. Okay.
So here the requirement is whatever the data
Mm.
have in database, you are converting that to JSON.
Yes, after getting the record based on your query, right? I'm just doing query like select first name from the employees where last name equal, I'm passing dynamically. So you are already aware of this, right? So this Mule expression language, I'm passing the last name. So based on the last name, I'm trying to get the first name.
Okay.
Okay, now. So that once you get it right, so this SQL is I mean SQL is giving some object format actually. So from that object I'm trying to convert into JSON and then I'm trying to display on the browser. Okay, I'm trying to deploy this run as mail application. Okay, so deployed successfully. Then so we need to pass the last name, right? I'm passing the last name. So because we are creating a query like this, like that, here we are passing the last name, right? Last name equal. So that whatever you are passing from the browser, right? So that is like a query parameter, right? Last time we saw that, right? How we'll get the query parameters,
Yes.
how we'll get the URI parameters and all. So I'm trying to pass that last name. Whenever you pass the last name, so then that will go there, then that will execute accordingly, then it will display in the form of JSON, in the form of JSON, because we are after getting the results we are trying to convert it to object to JSON. So finally first name equal something. See, this is whatever the last name, so might be this last name, um, it contains, this last name contains multiple records also, right? So that's why here we got two records. First name is Java and then first name is code, something like Quintet. Okay, na?
Okay.
So that too it should convert into the JSON format because we kept here some convert object to JSON, right? This is a JSON format actually. So within the floor bracket, then it's an array, right? Because multiple records are there, so that's why it's coming as an array.
Okay.
Okay. So any queries now? So we are trying to
So
connect.
depends on
Yeah. Yeah, but tell me.
depends on the requirement. For example, here based on last name we got the first name.
Yeah.
Whenever our requirement is changed and we need to get the records, whichever started with A or something later,
Yeah, yeah.
we can
You can write
we
as
need
it
to change
is.
the.
As it is, you
Okay.
can write it actually. How we'll write the query in database, right? Similarly, you can write it
Yeah.
in this text area.
Okay.
Okay. So that is about select.
But
Yeah.
I didn't get what is that in query, like in MS and for in MySQL, you have written so many queries. So whatever, okay, here it will take this query is right. Based on this query only, it will execute.
Hmm.
Okay. So we can write any number of queries here directly.
Yeah, you can write this. That's what they mentioned. It's a text area, right? So length is big. So how it will happen internally? This will consider as a payload. It will hit to the
Mm-hmm.
database. Internally, they written like this. This database is connector is nothing but a internally it's this built in based on the Java code actually. Whenever we will pass the
Mm-hmm.
data, it will take as a payload. It will take as a payload. It will execute internally. It will get back the data. That way they written the code.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. So except JSON, can I use any other formats also? Like,
As you
for
wish.
example,
As you
I
wish.
want to get the data in XML sheet.
Hmm. For that we need to write the code actually. So I just simply convert it to the, so generally this database written some object format. I want to show it as a JSON. So then whatever you want, you can object to something format is there and I have to convert it. So these are object to string, object to XML, object to JSON, object to byte array, object to CSV is not there. Object to JSON, object to string is there. After that, once you convert the string, then you have to write again how we'll insert the records into CSV. For that, we need to write a data wave. Transform is there, no? Data wave. You can use this transform. Anyway, we are not yet discussed this transform, right? So we can convert into the CSV format. Last time we saw that, right? Last class,
Yes,
we transform the data. We whatever the data we are getting, we just insert into the file, right? Insert into the CSV, right?
yes, yes.
Mm. See, this first getting the data only using the database connector. After once we get the data, whatever you want, you can do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay.
How they are expecting actually. Suppose client was expecting JSON format, just I'm writing in the JSON format. So client was expecting
Okay,
whatever you are told, right? CSV format, then you have to convert the CSV and you have to give it.
okay.
So that is depend on requirement actually. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So that is the first one. Second one is how to insert the data. Similar way then, just queries will change. That's it. See here I choose the operation called insert. Okay, now my requirement is I want to insert the data. I want to insert a new record. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so might be in the GUI person will enter data whenever we click the submit. That record will get to the mule end. In the mule end, so I want to insert the record. We have to choose the operation insert. Okay, so next one is here. Previously we took dynamic, right? Query type as a dynamic. Now parameterized. So see this. While inserting time, we have to pass like this. So we should aware some database queries. So insert into that particular table. Then we have to pass the parameters, means field names, means column names in the database. So person ID, last name, first name, address, city, so then values, same query. So then we have to pass the data.
This is the same query we need to insert. So we can use this in dynamic also, right? There is no change.
No, that's why internally how it will happen. So it's like a dynamic only. Internally how it will happen. In place of this, it will keep it as a question mark symbols.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Internally how it will happen, same query, if it is a parameterized means, The Java it will convert into here. So it will remove this. It will remove this. Each is nothing but a question mark. It will convert as a question mark. That's what I'm talking about Java thing. So in Java also we did same thing. Like this it will come. All of it will write as a question mark symbols. After that how it will write in the bottom of that, if you give a parameterized, it will take like this query. Okay now. So after that how it will write, set the person ID, then it will choose the person ID. Models set the string, I guess. Set the string. Then this person ID it will give it here. Like this internally it will write like this actually code. When you choose a
Okay.
parameterized. When you choose a dynamic, it won't set like this. Whatever you are giving, it will directly insert it.
So is there any performance like
Yes, that's
differences?
why. Not only performance, security reasons also. You are clear.
Okay. So out of these two, which one is good? Which one
People,
like
people will prefer parameterized only.
okay.
Okay now. So here we have to choose the parameterized. So then that's it. There is a difference. I'm trying to insert the new record. Remaining all same actually. So that the configuration and all same. Once you enter, then it will take automatically how many. If you use number of times also, the database connector drag and drop here. Same configuration it will take. Okay now.
Okay.
So then I'm trying to create a logger here. So whatever the response you will get it, that response I'm trying to display. Then set the payload. I just kept, see once you insert the record, database will give number of records insertion it will give actually. That response it will. That response I hold it in the payload. I'm trying to display it. How many records it will
Oh,
insert. Okay now. So I'm trying to update already deployed this code, right? Already deployed. Now I'm trying to insert the record. So what is the context path here? I just change the context path here, insert as an insert. So see this DB insert response inserted successfully one record. That is given by our connector. If you see here, see this your logger also displayed. I kept a logger. Once you inserted, that dynamic message will get it. Just go and check in the database where you inserted under persons, right? See now two records there.
okay.
So this is only just a sample purpose we are inserted, but we should follow the primary key, foreign key and all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that is insertion. Then this is again updation actually. In the updation, we choose different operations. See this here operation is different update. Then here also parameterized. So then I'm trying to update the record 101. Suppose 101 is Secunderabad. I'm trying to update else will update address. Set address equals something like say okay. I'm trying to update it. Okay. No, this is not from endpoint.
No.
Update. Okay, na? So DB updates two records. Why it was updating two records? Because here two records person ID is 101, right? So here we're trying to update where person ID equal to 101, right? So
Okay.
that's why two records got updated. Now see the address. Previously address is HSR level. Now
Mm.
address is got changed.
Okay.
Okay, na? So this is a way to connect the database to choose the operations accordingly. Any questions as of now?
No question.
So here we didn't get the exception handling and all, right? So suppose you are trying to insert, there is a primary key, 101 is a primary key, right?
Mm.
If you create the table like that, primary key of foreign key and all restrictions, if you keep it, then if you are trying to insert 101 again, it will give duplicate record, right?
Yes.
So that time what we need to do, so you are trying to create the record again with same, right? Same ID. The time what happened, this will give error. Database connector will give error actually, the primary key. Then what we need to do, so in the error handling, we have to catch it. Whatever the things happen in the flow, right? So that will come to error handling. Hello.